out in California that looked for, he was this black player coming in at this black line, looked for it for 2 years before he realized he wasn't going to get the call. And let's diagram one of these examples in here. We're on page 61, 24G, and let's go through that again. Somebody read it, 24G, the interpretation. Mike, you asked the question.
Okay.
The umpire?
Runaway interpretation. The umpire cannot apply a protractor to the angle of both players. Unless the player with the line of ball on his left is clearly at a lesser angle, the player with the line of ball on his right has the right of way.
Okay. The umpire cannot apply a protractor unless the player with the line of the ball on his left is clearly at lesser angle than the player on the right with the line of the ball on his offside has the right of way. Let's go to the second example. Let's diagram that example.
Second example, the umpire bowls the ball through the line.
Yeah.
Okay, the umpire bowls the ball through the line up. Number 4, lined up wide of the throw, turns to the left to take the ball from the offside. Red number 3 turns to the right, crosses the line of ball, and takes the ball on his offside. No foul on red because he's clearly at a lesser angle of the line of the ball.
Okay. So that's this example right here. Blue number 4, which is black in this case, is lined up wide. Turns to the left. Red number 3 turns to the right. It's clearly at lesser angle and plays the ball on his offside. No foul. Okay. Clearly at lesser angle. Now, if this player comes over here and does this while the number 3 is coming, then the number 3 red fouls. Okay. So that's the same play right here. Say that again.
Just because 4 hit it, he's not on the line.
Actually, he didn't hit it. This is the line here. I apologize if I didn't make that. The umpire bowls the ball in, so the ball goes all the way back through here.
You saw that T that is painted there, and a lot of them will use it more. And if you saw my email, we're going to umpire more. So in every polo club you'll go in the world, you'll see that T. Actually, you see it on one side of the field and on that side, which I didn't put it because I wanted to say paint. But that's where you line up. The T is the.
Yeah.
And they still use the one on each side of the field?
Oh, yeah. Actually, in Florida, they use a line all the way across. Yeah.
You try to switch around to reach the sun sometimes, and you don't want the player to understand that, and also because the force break that area too much, so you switch it. You usually do 3 chuggers on one side and 3 chuggers on the other side, so you don't break the field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so this is our T here. So when the umpire bowls the ball in, actually when the umpire bowls the ball in, which way is the line? Whichever way he bowls it in. Now if that line
Can bounce on a horse.
if it goes and hits a horse and comes off over here, then we have a new line going. And that's why actually we see a lot of people jumping on the line, trying to bowl in and getting on the line. And of course I tell you, a lot of people say, isn't it a foul to take a full swing and a bowl in? And the answer is no. You won't find that rule anywhere in the book. However, we have the responsibility of the safety of the other 7 horses and the other 7 players on every single play. If we take a full swing in a lineup and we hit a horse or we hit a ball into a player, then you know what? Yeah, we've made a dangerous play and that can be a foul. But it's not a foul to take a full swing. It's a foul to endanger another player or horse. Period. On any play. So on this play here, the line goes straight back through. Nobody touches it. It's here. 4 wide, lined up wide. Goes to the ball. 3 turns clearly at lesser angle. Red 3's right of the way. Okay.
Offside.
Offside. Sure.
I have trouble understanding that. Why wouldn't 3 have to take a year?
Because let's look at this play here. This play here is the same as this. It's clearly at lesser angle. And actually, what play does this player have at that angle?
Another footman.
Nothing. Nothing. And actually, if this player takes the near side, then this player who's at wide angle can hook, right? So if you're the dotted line player, why not protect your mallet? Okay? That makes just about as much sense protecting your mallet. It's like Marco says, making the tail shot. We want to give our players and we want to protect our play. The tail shot makes more sense.
It feels like crossing the line to me. I think that's why I'm having trouble getting it.
Sure. But remember, crossing the line is not a foul. A violation of the right of way is the foul. Who has the right of way?
The person that's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
That player. This player doesn't have a right of way.
Okay.
So in the
I want to do one play that a lot of you are doing, and it's quite dangerous. And actually, I can mention 3 accidents that happened because of this. Not here, bad accidents. So Steve is hitting on the outside. I lost my. One of you lost my other foot mallet. Steve is hitting on an offside. So as Steve explained, I have the right of way. I have the right, not right away. I have the right to hook him as he's hitting the ball.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, I didn't want you to.
So I can come and make this play. But my horse is spacing in between Jennifer's and Everito's horse. A lot of you are doing it, and it scares me because it's very dangerous play. You come in and you come in here thinking you're hooking, but the head of your horse is under that mallet. When that mallet hits the horse is going to be knocked out, number 1. That horse is going to lose an eye, number 2. That horse is going to have a gash on his head, number 3. And less important, you're fouling. You have and you must. You think because you're running, you're not just staying on the horse, no, horsemanship. You can be here and you can hook, or I can run ahead of Steve and I can back the ball clear in the line. You may never do a full swing. Come here and think because he'll hit. Number 1, you foul it, but number 2, you'll hit the horse. So you really have to be careful on that play. I always try to bring that up and instead of.
Sonny, what's the foul on that play? How do we announce it?
Right into the swing?
Right into the swing, right into the stroke, right into the swing. Okay? Yeah. And actually, what he said, your horse gets knocked out, going at half speed or 3/4 speed. When a horse gets knocked out, it isn't fun. Okay? That horse is going to come or something. Stay on your own side. That's right in the shot, right into the swing. How about can Marcos hook me? Can Marcos hook me and then come over and ride me off? Yeah. And then play the offside? Sure. Yeah. He can. And actually, he hooked somebody yesterday and then wound up with the ball too, and then backed it to his own teammate. No foul.
Another dangerous play, which is you can do, you may do, and correct me if I'm wrong, maybe not. I haven't played in competing polo in a long time, so you can hook from behind.
Yes.
Now remember, number 1, below the shoulder. This is the shoulder. But remember how, because it scares me a lot of you guys ride well, but the front legs of your horse are very, very close to the back legs of his horse. And that's a really dangerous play, so be careful when you do the play. It's great if you can hook him, but I'm straight behind him. The horse runs like this, and when the horse runs, the back legs go exactly the opposite way. And many accidents happen that way. His horse will go down on mine.
You can also tell them about a cross hook, Marcos.
Pardon me?
You can also tell them about a cross hook. When your horse is to the other side and you're putting...
Right, and you can never, a lot of you, just because you don't know, you may never put your mallet across his horse to hook. I know we're down to basics, but it's good to bring it up at this point, yes. Or like Steve says, if in doubt, don't do it. If you think, I'm moving over, and it happens a lot in haggle ball, I moved enough, and then you watch it the tape and you hadn't moved enough. A lot of the plays that we think you're right happened to me a lot playing a Steve Umpire a lot of my games, and you never kicked me out of the team, did you?
No.
Even though you didn't do such a good job.
Well, I mean, you had some red flags.
But then
telling me that.
you watch it on video, and the players were right. You see that different. When you play, it's different. You see a different angle, and the spectators is different. That's why you have, like he says, spotters, which I never seen. I didn't know they existed, and you have a third man. Because they're all different angles that you definitely see the game different than when you're riding. When you're riding, I know I was right, and then you watch it on video and say, I totally cross-hooked the guy. So anyway.
Go side by side one more time like you were. And show how you can hang him up after you hook him. You can hang up his mallet.
Well,
No. You can keep contact with his mallet. No matter.
So I'm hooking him, but now I'm holding him. You know why I'm holding him? So his horse is still riding.
Yeah.
So we left the ball there because Paul is behind me alone, and I really didn't have a real play to the ball or hooking him only. So instead of playing the ball and instead of making a hook so he can, now I'm holding his mallet, but we're still riding. So that ball stayed dead there. And you know why I did that? Because I looked around and Hoy was in my team alone behind me.
Plus, if Steve tries to get away from you, tries to get the mallet away from you, he might be up here, he might be back
Yeah,
there.
correct. But as long as he's hooking me down here, and now our mallets come up here, he's still made a legal
That's
hook.
fine.
Yeah, yeah. One thing he can't do is hold my mallet, hold it, checking up, and now pull me off. Okay?
Yeah.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. In fact, let's talk about
That would be a
unsportsmanlike
safety issue,
Lack
I
of
presume.
horsemanship on your
Oh, yeah,
side.
it could be. Maybe I had a big breakfast.
I have a question on the full swing. So when is it in the same situation where Marcos is behind you, where is it your responsibility to make sure that nobody's in the
Okay.
line of your swing?
Let's say that he does ride in there. Let's say that he makes a mistake and rides in here like this. I don't have a right to take a full swing now. Is he fouling me? Absolutely. And actually, let's go to Rule 24A.
And you see most players in Florida or in Polo, they'll do this. I stay like this, I look at the umpire like, I would like to hit the ball, I don't want to hit the horse. Look what he's doing to me. So you do the motion, isn't that what you asked?
Yes.
Do the motion that you're going to hit the ball, but you have the head of a horse here, and they'll call it. Because you're blocking the shot.
Yep. Let's go to the bottom of page 57 in the interpretation of Rule 24A. And Sid, read it for us. Actually, why don't you? Because you asked the question, and this will help you remember.
Liberita.
24A.
A, down at the bottom of page 57, the interpretation. Read it out nice and loud so we can all hear.
The right-of-way has sufficient width and distance to permit the player to continue safely in the direction and at the speed in which the player is riding, and to be positioned to play the ball on the offside in safety. Any play on the opponent must leave the right-of-way clear. Should the player be required to check or alter course to avoid risk of collision or danger, a right-of-way violation has taken place. The player with the right-of-way does not have a right to hit or hit the ball.
Let's stop right there. And let's reiterate that. And that's a new rule change or new language from last year's, first year's been in. And this is the whole reason, and that's why I'm making you read this, because if that player is there, this player does not have a right to hit or hit at the ball. Okay? And actually, we can take it a step further, and this is the example that the USPA used is, if I want to hit the ball and a player come in and put their horse's foot over the ball, I don't have a right to hit or hit at the ball. Is it a foul? Yes. But just because I'm right and I'm getting fouled doesn't mean I can swing into the horse. So let's start with that last sentence, and now maybe that'll make a little bit more sense.
The player with the right-of-way does not have a right to hit or hit at the ball. The player only has a right to safely continue on his course.
Okay? Does that answer your question? Am I getting fouled when this horse's head? If the gray horse wants to take a full swing and the bay horse comes in here, is he getting fouled? Yes. Can the gray horse take a swing? No. And actually, you know what? Should that gray horse take a swing, and like Marco says, he may be up here checking his swing to show the umpires, Stevie Wonder and Helen Keller, that we can't swing at the ball because the horse's head is there. But just because he gets fouled doesn't mean he has a right to take the swing.
It does take the swing, who's the fouler? So
Well, let's say he takes a little bit of a swing like this, then it could be offsetting penalties. Let's say he takes a full swing because he's mad, because of the previous chucker, then you know what? The umpires have a right to call one foul or the other. And actually, me, I would not call a foul on the bay horse. I'd go blind. I would take the more severe foul for swinging into the horse against the gray player. And if he swung hard, you know what? A severe penalty against gray, and possibly out for the rest of the chucker of the game.
Is that the penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct?
There's a ton of them that are for unsportsmanlike conduct. Rule 33.
All of you that like you, Nicolas, take this book home and read it. Just things will make more sense, and it's very.
What you want to read is from about Rule 20 to 35. Okay? But let's talk about unsportsmanlike conduct. It can be for an appeal. It can be for rough or abusive play. It can be for talking about the umpire's mother. It can be unsportsmanlike conduct to an opponent. It can be unsportsmanlike conduct for a teammate. Okay? And that's why we have the red flag. The red flag was introduced about 8 or 9 years ago when Red Armor was running the umpire program. And that was to show spectators. Let's say that we have a play in the second chukker about coming across the field here, and in the second chukker, the umpire's moving to center field. We have a similar play in the fifth chukker coming across, kind of in the same spot. We're sitting there, we're talking with our friends today, and we hear the whistle go, and we reach down, we get a handful of Doritos, and we open up another Coke, and now all of a sudden we look up and they made it a penalty 4. And we go, golly, you know, the second chukker was a center hit, now it's a penalty 4. These guys are really inconsistent. Well, the red flag was introduced, and the umpires blow the whistle and pull the red flag to let us know that something out of the unordinary happened. The red flag is basically letting us know that there was an unsportsmanlike conduct call, and that's why it went from center to penalty 4.
They were talking about your mother.
Yeah. And they were very wrong. But, and actually I told this example yesterday, the rule is unsportsmanlike conduct to any player. And of course, I don't think you have that problem here at Capital City Polo. From what I hear, from what I saw yesterday, everybody's friendly and a good group. But just so you know, when you go to play in your tournament, if you talk to an opponent, or I doubt any of you will question the umpire, but maybe you will get jumped on by your teammate. It is unsportsmanlike conduct. I'm doing the U.S. Open down in Boca, and I told the story on the 10th the other day, and Paul Withers was bowling in. And for you umpires, the umpire who's not bowling in brings back the last player. Okay? So Paul's bowling in, I'm not, and Keith Aguero went to turn the ball, and he lost it. Adam Snow picked up the ball, and he went down and he scored. So I watched the play, and I'm not bowling in, and Adolfo Cambiaso just jumped all over EJ. I mean, he just tore him a new one. So I said, well, we can't have that. I'm going to give Adolfo a warning. So I wait, Adolfo's cantering back, so I wait for Adolfo, and I ride up right beside him. I said, Adolfo, no more hollering. Any more hollering, we have to penalize you. Oh, sorry, Steve, no más, lo siento, bueno. Steve, yeah, what is hollering? I said, you know, Adolfo. Oh, bueno, no más. So, you know, and that was fine. Just sometimes a little warning, calm players down, but that's what the red flag is for, unsportsmanlike conduct. Yeah.
Can I add one question back to the hooking?
Sure.
I think I'm a new player, so I'm having a hard time with it. I feel like I can get my horse up, and I'm just not quite sure where I should be. I feel like I'm getting right where you said, in the wrong. I'm in the place of the swing. So how far I should be next to the horse?
You were here on day 1, weren't you? On Friday?
Yeah.
So how far did he say? What's the right of way?
The stirrups?
Stirrup to stirrup.
Stirrup to stirrup?
Outside of
Clearing the path of the other horse couple.
Okay.
yeah.
So I want to be right next to him, and
Whatever it is you clear, or if you do yoga, you can stretch, which a lot of the young players,
Yeah.
and they'll hook like that.
yeah.
No, I
As
think
long as the other player can
saying how close do you have to be, or how far from the line of the
From the
ball,
line of the ball.
so that you're not adding to the shot.
Yeah.
Or
So I'm not
Right,
doing it
that's
in the
what you're
mouth.
saying.
You can't be straddling or on the line of the ball. Okay? For instance, if your opponent is here, say your opponent is here, and you want to hook, and this is you, you're right into the shot before they even swing.
Okay.
Okay? You have to be over here.
Okay.
Have the line of the ball on your near side.
Remember your mallet is 52, 53, or 51 inches. Use that many inches to hook. Don't use this much. That would be a lot safer.
Yeah.
You might miss a hook, but you'll be safe.
You'll be safe. Correct. And please, beginning players, don't try and reach underneath your horse's neck to hook somebody. When you become more experienced, then try it. You're going to see it by some of the more experienced players. But when you do that, you're almost automatically going to ride in and put your horse and yourself into the full swing of your opponent, which is a foul. Like Marcos just demonstrated, do this hook. Okay.
Also, one thing I have a question about, let's say I'm coming to hook Marcos on the line, and what Marcos does is, before even I hook him, he actually hits my mallet before I even get to the ball. And
I actually do that to him all the time.
and then he gets the ball, because my mallet didn't even hook him yet. Before he even contacted my mallet and hit it away, and then he continued with the ball.
Sure.
Is that illegal?
Yes, if you are trying to, if you're,
I'm gonna do this here with the
actually I can't show that with the horses. But if
we can get our broom and our mallet back out again.
That wouldn't matter, so besides paying the $20, pay me back my foot. So actually, I will have
Yeah.
Sonny's.
What Marcos is doing is he's doing this. Or
No,
actually,
I'm
Marcos told me off.
not yet.
I'm
Sonny's
trying to
coming to
hook
hook me
him.
under this, I'll take
Yeah.
it.
There you go.
If I'm attempting to hook him,
Right.
then yes, can be. Let's say that we're 15 yards from the ball,
Right.
then no, he can't do that.
There you go. That's the point.
Okay.
That's what he does all the time anyway.
15 yards left on the ball. Let's say that
He failed to mention that.
Don't take it personal.
Yeah, let's say that I missed the ball, and now I'm meeting the fellow in the orange shirt. He's my opponent, and as I ride by, way back here, I just hit his mallet. No, if he's swinging at the ball or attempting to hook, we can't strike our opponent's mallet. Okay, so yeah, it is a legal play.
You can play on airplane, I can.
I think that's in Rule 28.